Alright, so I'm going to show how to replace the battery on this 15-inch MacBook Pro model A1398 mid-2014. Alright, so this one actually I can tell the battery is inflated, it's bulging out. If I put the Mac like this, it actually can spin around like this somewhat. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is remove the bottom cover. We're going to use a Pentalobe 1.2 or P5 screwdriver to do this. Okay, get the screwdriver. And remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to put the flat side of the screws down so that you can keep track of them. So like this on your desk, I put them in the pattern that I remove them, this rectangular shape. All right, and that helps me remember where each screw goes. You actually want to make sure to put the same screws back where you got them. Again, they can be different size, shape, and lengths, and if you put the wrong screw in the wrong place, you can actually damage your computer. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove all these screws. You can see the cover's actually getting pushed out from the battery. Alright, if this video helps you, don't forget to like and subscribe so that other people can find my videos and they'll also be helped by them. Alright. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps. I do these repairs for a living, but as I do more and more of these videos, more and more people local to me actually find them and fix the devices on their own. So I'm actually slowly killing my business at the same time. So hopefully you guys will be able to help out. YouTube doesn't really pay me that much for doing these kinds of things. So yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and finish taking out all the rest of these screws. Okay, there we go. Hold the cover down. If your battery's bulged like that, you don't want it to launch your screws away. Alright, so here we can see it's pretty dusty in here, so I'm gonna have to clean this up and I'll be back. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So here you can see the cover doesn't even sit flat. Okay, it's all cleaned up. Alright, so now we're going to switch to a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery here. Alright, so to remove the battery, let me actually zoom in to show this a little bit better. So the battery connector right here, what we're going to do, we're going to get underneath this little lip here and we're going to pull this out from both sides, alright? So usually I'll use my fingernails like this. If you can't do it with your fingernails, you can use pry tools, but I just get my two fingernails underneath the corners like that and then I just pull it up just like this, alright? Once we got that up, what we're going to do, we're going to open up the MacBook, alright? And then we're going to press and hold the power button for about 10 to 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power from the capacitors and things like that to make it a little bit safer to work on, alright? Technically, this isn't absolutely necessary, but it only takes a few seconds, so why not? I always get customers or people on YouTube asking me why do they need to do that? Because it's a lot safer. It's better to be safe than to not do it and then you damage this and then your MacBook becomes several $100s to repair instead of just fixing the battery. So yeah, why not? Alright, let's go ahead and remove the two speaker screws here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay. Alright, remove these two screws as well. Alright, just like that. Now there's going to be two screws underneath this sticker piece, so we're going to peel this up slightly. Okay, just like that, and then we're going to get that screw out. Again, keep all these screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. Alright, so we got that one out. I'm going to peel up this side and then get this screw out as well. If you want, you can actually peel this sticker off completely and transfer it over to the replacement battery because the replacement battery won't have this sticker on it. So if you want, you can go ahead and make sure to hold this plastic piece down while you peel this up, just like this. Okay, hopefully the recording is still clear because people are doing yard work outside. Alright, so here you can see this is loose like that. Alright, so now we're going to remove these bulging out battery packs. Sometimes the bulging of the battery packs actually helps because it pulls the adhesive away slightly. Actually, let me clean off this first because there's some adhesive residue stuck on there. Alright, give me a second. Alright, I'm back. So I cleaned off this a little bit. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is remove the battery packs from here. So first thing, what I do, the reason why I take out the 2 screws here is so I can lift the speaker here up. We'll see, hopefully it will come out. The speaker's kind of the battery's kind of bulged and pushing against it. So you kind of want to get part of this up like this so that you can see under here. So usually this piece will be pretty dirty, so you're going to want to clean that off. All right, just grab a toothbrush or whatever and then just brush that little mesh piece off there. All right, I do this on both sides. All right, as you can see, the inflated battery is actually holding this up. So since that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and scrape this side of the battery out first. You want to use something thin and flexible. You don't want to use anything sharp. This isn't a knife, okay? It's just really thin and flexible. And then this tool actually has like a bend in it from prying things open. So because of that, I have to make sure to use the tool so it's like this, so that way it scrapes under the battery. If you have the tool like this and you do it, it'll actually scrape into the battery, and you don't want it to do that because then you can puncture this and you can start a fire. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and get the tool underneath, and we're just going to scrape the adhesive out. Alright, so just like this, just get the tool in and then kind of push into it, okay? Alright, just like that. Alright, and you want to do this in a straight line. You don't want to try and cut over this way, because then there's a good chance you will puncture the battery pack as well. All right, so there you go. We got that battery pack out. We're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. All right, same thing. Let's lift this speaker out. Again, this bulging battery is actually making it a lot harder to do this part. Normally it should lift out pretty easily. So let me see if I can help with that. All right, just by pushing that down. Okay, and that kind of helped. Yeah, this, I don't know, it's stuck in there pretty good. So let's go ahead and try this again. All right. Okay, it's coming up. I probably have to push this side as well. There we go. All right, let's lift this. Good. It's a little bit tough to lift this out. You can use like tape or something if that helps you. You can put some tape here and then use that as a pull tab to lift it up. All right, there we go. As you can see, this thing is dusty as well, so we're just gonna brush the dust off from there. Okay, and then let's go ahead and use the tool again just to scrape underneath and get all that adhesive out. All right, just like this. Work your way over and just continue cutting this adhesive. Okay. Go. Alright, once you got all the adhesive, you can let that drop back down. Okay, so you can see we got that pack out as well. Alright, now we're going to get underneath this one. Since we cut through this one, now we can go underneath this battery pack. Alright, and we can scrape under this way, just like this. Okay, and just keep working your way over. Okay. When you get to this corner here, you have to work it at an angle because this range, the screw mount there is raised. All right, so go at an angle like this. Okay, there we go. Usually this piece will still stick down so that you'll have to like pry it up like this. All right, but in this case, because it's so inflated, it popped itself up. Right, we'll do the same thing with this side. Lift the battery pack up. Okay, and just continue cutting the adhesive all the way down. Okay, that angle. And then this one is stuck down, so as you can see, I'm gonna just pry it up, just like that, and there we go. All right, the center packs are a little bit more tricky because you have to raise the tool a little higher because there's this raised trackpad area. So we actually have to get the tool just above that area there, okay, just like this. All right, so same thing, we're just gonna go ahead and continue pushing the tool through, but you wanna be very careful because there's the trackpad cable down here, okay? And if you have the tool going too far over this way, you can cut that. So it's better to go this way, especially if you're inexperienced and don't know what you're doing. So you wanna kind of angle it over a little bit that way. Okay. All right. Once you cut all the rest, you can just pry up the remainder, so you don't have to worry about cutting as close to the top as possible. Okay. And you only want the tool to go halfway. You don't need to worry about this side. We're gonna rotate the computer and then worry about that side after. Okay. So just like that. Okay. Okay. Just like this. Working our way down. Okay. Okay. Just like that. And last piece. Okay. I believe there's also some adhesive under there, but we'll worry about that afterwards. Okay, let's go ahead, flip it over and work on this side. Again, angling it slightly towards the opening of the MacBook away from the trackpad cable area. Okay. There we go. Sorry if my head gets in the way, I wasn't paying attention, but it makes it easier to work when my head is over the computer instead of like far back. Okay. Alright, I think we got most of it. Okay, so now that we got all the adhesive out, we might have to cut down here, but we'll find out once we try and pull the battery out. So you lift it up like this, all right, and then you pull it forward. Okay, they didn't put adhesive down there. So there we go. Here you can see the battery pack. So now you can see the way I do it. Even though it's inflated, we didn't end up puncturing this, so it's good. There's a dent on here, which is kind of weird, but yeah. All right, so we're gonna set this aside. Here's the adhesive I was referring to, these small pieces. A lot of times it sticks down here, but it didn't stick very well this time. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is remove all this adhesive residue. All right, it helps to use a plastic razor blade squeegee thing like this. All right, what you do is you kind of scrape up a little bit of it, then grab that little edge and peel it off. All right, on some of the older models, this adhesive doesn't peel off, and you actually have to scrape all of it up, so keep that in mind. All right, not all of them respond the same way. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel this off. All right, some of this adhesive, as you can see, I don't know if you can see the residue there. We're gonna have to clean that up with rubbing alcohol later. All right, just like that, and peel this up. Okay. If the plastic razor blade doesn't work, you can actually also use the metal scrapey tool. The stuff under here is mostly cosmetic, so if it gets scratched, it's not too big of a deal. All right. Just like that, scrape it all up. Okay. All right. After that, we're going to have to use some rubbing alcohol here to get off the residue. Okay, hopefully these middle ones peel up okay. Okay, good. This side doesn't want to peel up. It got all scraped from the tool, so we're gonna have to just manually scrape it up. Okay. I don't think we'll be able to peel this. Okay, a little bit. Yeah, not all of it's gonna come out, so we're gonna have to scrape that out with the rubbing alcohol. All right, let's move on to the other one. This one's already removed. this one's going to come out either. So we're just going to scrape it all up. And then we'll have to deal with the residue later. Okay. Just trying to get up as much of it as I can right now. It'll help with peeling it up later. All right. This one looks like it will come out. Yep. There we go. Oops. Okay, let's do this one from this side. Put that up. All right. Go to the other side here. Up. Peel this up. Just like that. We're almost there. Okay. Alright, peel that up. Okay, just like that. Peel this up. Almost there. Only 2 more pieces, then we clear off all the residue. Right. Alright, let's go ahead and clear up the residue. So to clear up the residue, I use isopropyl alcohol, 91%. You can use the lower percentages as well, like 70%. But anyways, I put a little bit there. And then I use the scrapey tool with the rubbing alcohol, alright, to dissolve the residue. Okay, and I scrape it up. I don't know if you can see, but the residue is all coming out now. Okay. Some of the residue is pretty stubborn and you'll have to keep working at it, or you might have to add some more rubbing alcohol to it. Okay, keep that in mind. It's not like an instant thing that you can just wipe it off. Right, so just like this, just keep working at it. Okay, just get as much as possible. Once you can't get any more, we'll use some paper towel with rubbing alcohol and clean that off. Okay, I don't know if you can see, it's turning to a pile of goop. Okay. Alright, so now we've got this big pile of goop here. That's all the sticky adhesive residue. Okay, we're going to get a paper towel, and then we're going to wipe up that goop, wiping it off the scraping tool. Okay, there we go, wipe that up. I'm going to add some more rubbing alcohol and continue the same thing. Okay, doing this. You want to be careful not to get it all into the other components. It shouldn't affect it or damage it, but I always like to be extra safe and not just spray the rubbing alcohol all over everything. Okay. Now that we've gotten most of the residue out from there, we're going to wipe this up. And then we're going to use the alcohol infused wipe to get any of the remaining stuff out if we can. Alright, we might have to use a clean one. Alright, get a clean one, put some rubbing alcohol in there. It doesn't have to be a spray bottle, you can use the ones where you just pour it on. Alright, and then we just wipe all this residue off. Okay, you'll know you got the residue off when it turns like a uniform silver aluminum color. Okay, so there we go. We're going to go ahead and do the other side now. Same thing. Okay. Rubbing alcohol into the adhesive here. Okay, just get it all onto that adhesive. That will help dissolve it, and then you can scrape up the residue. This part is pretty stuck on there, so we're going to have to work it a bit. Oh, I see. This has the little plastic layer, so you can try and peel that off if it comes out. Oh, nope, that didn't work. So I guess we're just going to have to keep scraping it. Go. Yep, this one has that plastic layer still in it. There we go. Okay, scrape that all up. Continue working the other sides. Okay. Keep working at it. Alright, we got most of it out. Okay. Alright, now we're going to use this tool and then wipe up that residue. I mean the paper towel. Alright, wipe it up. Get another clean paper towel. Okay, add some rubbing alcohol to it. And then wipe off all the residue. There's some stuck at the top there, so make sure to get it all. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the middle one. If you want, you can use a paper towel that has rubbing alcohol on it, and you can just keep working at it. The main thing you want to be careful is not to get the rubbing alcohol into this little hole down here. That's the trackpad click button tensioner screw. Okay, so you want to be careful. Here's the trackpad cable I was saying to worry about, that if you use the tool scraping under the battery, you could easily damage that. And if you damage that, it's going to be somewhat of a pain to replace. Alright, let's go ahead and scrape up all this stuff using the rubbing alcohol. Add a little more. Okay, continue scraping out the residue here. Work our way over now. Again, the safest way is just using the paper towel and doing this, but it takes a lot more time. You'll have to keep continuously wiping it over and over until it completely dissolves all of this residue, so I prefer to use the rubbing alcohol like this. Okay, I'm just going to keep working at it. Here you can see it's all turning into goop. Okay, I'll leave the rubbing alcohol there to do its work. Slowly scraping all this stuff up. Alright. Okay, so now that we've gotten most of it free, okay, we're going to use up another paper towel and wipe that up. Okay. Paper towel, wipe this clean. Okay. Then get some rubbing alcohol on a paper towel and then just wipe all of this residue up. Oh, that part didn't really clean off well. You can see, there we go. Keep going at it, it'll eventually all rub off. Okay, let's go ahead and get another clean one so we can get the residue out. It's very difficult to get all of this residue 100% out, but just get as much as you can. Okay, I'm gonna flip the paper towel, clean side. Same thing, we'll just wipe this stuff off. Okay, let's get another clean piece of paper towel. Almost there. Clean off all that residue. Again, it won't get out 100%. When this stuff dries, you can actually see some residue on it again. I don't know if you can see that in camera. All right, so don't worry about it too much. You don't need to have it 100% perfect. The main thing is getting all the rough stuff off so that the new adhesive will be able to stick to it. All right. Okay, most of it's gone. I think we should be good. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get the replacement battery. Okay, you can see. So the replacement battery will come like this. There's this thick plastic piece here, and then there's this thin plastic that holds the packs together. If you want, you can actually test the battery like this. You can leave it in here and then test the battery. One thing you want to do to prep the battery before putting it into place is you want to bend this wire down. Let me zoom in. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is bend this wire. You want to hold this board, okay? And then we're going to bend this wire down this way, okay? Once you bend it down that way, you're going to fold the center of it backwards, okay? So just like this, all right? And then we're going to bend this one over again, so at the edge of this piece. So that way the wires are a little bit shorter this way. You can also do a test fit, all right? Make sure everything fits properly. The way I test the battery is I get one corner of it in first, okay, just like this, and then get the other side, and then push the whole thing down. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just power it up and test to make sure it's working okay. So make sure, hold the battery into place, all right, because it's not held in with the adhesive. And then we're going to push the power button and see if it powers up. I'm going to hold the option key so that way it boots to the boot menu options. It looks like I might have to plug it in because, oh, there we go. I guess he just turned off the boot sound. All right, so there you go. We know the battery's working. Let's go ahead and shut this off. Okay, if you want, you can log in completely and see if it shows that the battery is reading okay. It's not giving the, like, what are those messages? Like, consider replacing your battery warnings and things like that. All right, you can do that, boot all the way. Anyways, let's go ahead and pop this piece back out. Oh man, this is stuck on there pretty good. There we go. All right, oops, this is coming out for some reason. I wonder where that foam, there's a foam piece here. I don't know where this came from. Oh, I see, it came from this. It ripped off both layers. So I don't know how this foam piece came out, but there should be that foam right there. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and lift the battery back out. You want to make sure that the screw mounts line up right, okay? Because this is going to be a little bit difficult to move afterwards. So find out which way that lines up best, and that's how you're going to want to put the battery back in. All right. So to do this, I like to put this on my arm like that, and then we're going to slowly peel this up just like this, working our way slowly down the battery. Okay, just like that. Okay, now that we got this, we're gonna go ahead and hold on to the packs so that they don't all flop all over the place. Okay, we're gonna slowly get it lined up and then drop this into place. Again, you want to make sure that these screw mounts up here are lined up well. All right, once you got that lined up, you can go ahead and drop the whole battery pack in, and you can go ahead and push all the battery pack down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put the screws back in. We're gonna start with the screws for the battery control board here. Okay, get that lined up. Oh man, okay. I think it's slightly shifted over to the right, so I have to kind of help push it over. All right, get that screw lined in. There we go. Get the other screw, and then get that one. There we go. We can go ahead and put back the speaker screws as well. Okay, just like this. Perfect. All right, then what we want to do is peel off this clear layer. So when you do this, you actually want to roll it back. You don't want to pull it straight up, okay? If you pull it straight up, it can actually separate some layers of the battery, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to roll this back, okay? Just grab this and then kind of slide it over this way, just like this. Okay. All right. If you pull it straight up and it creates layers in it, it can actually cause the battery to go bad sooner, so you want to be careful with that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and plug this connector back in. Same thing like before, you want to get one corner in, all right, and then work your way over to the other side and then just click it all into place. Get that all lined up, click it down, all right, and then that sticker that we removed, again, we can go ahead and put this back on top. Okay, just like that. And there we go. So let's go ahead and put the bottom cover back on and make sure everything is working, but it looks like it should be good. Okay, now you can see the cover actually sits on properly and it clicks into place. We're going to switch back over to the P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver and put back these screws. Okay, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Actually, one other thing, we want to do a PRAM and SMC reset. Anytime you change any major hardware components, it's always a good idea to do the PRAM and SMC reset. So I'll show you how to do that. All right, so let me finish putting all these screws in real quick. Okay, a lot of people ask me like what that is, what it does. You'll have to actually Google that. I don't know right off the top of my head, but it resets like internal settings from the board. It doesn't delete any data, so don't worry about that. Okay, but it basically tells the computer to update what it, like hardware settings and things like that that it has. Okay, the main one that I've seen that I know for sure it does is it resets like the brightness setting, the volume setting, things like that. Some also help with like the heat, the fan temperature management and stuff. Okay, all right, so there we go, we got all the screws in. Okay, let's flip this over. So to see what we're doing with the SMC, let me get the connector for this. All right, so we're gonna plug the charger in. All right, assuming the battery isn't over 90%, it should be orange. We're gonna do an SMC reset, control option shift on the left side, power button. If you do it right, it'll go green and then back to orange. That's how you know you did it right. Now we're going to do the PRAM reset. So you're going to push the power button and then Command Option P and R. Just hold those buttons. You should see the screen come on and then flash off. If that happens, that means you did the PRAM reset properly. If you keep holding it, you'll hear the chime. You can keep holding it until you hear the chime a second time, and that's how you know you did the PRAM reset properly. All right, so it should be chiming a second time now. There we go. Okay, and that's how we know we did it right. You can see the Apple logo. All right, so that's pretty much all there is to this. So again, hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can also fix their devices. And thanks for watching. If this video helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps. Even $1 is greatly appreciated. And yep, I'll see you all in the next one. All right, bye. Let's drop this.